Hi, and today what I will be showing you is Google Slides. Google Slides is a presentation tool just like Microsoft PowerPoint. It's web-based and has web storage using Google Drive. So one nice feature about it is that you never have to worry about saving your work, as long as you have an internet connection, all of your work will be saved. So first thing you'll need to do is have a Google account. As you can see, I'm logged in using my Horry County Schools Google account. From the Google Slides website, you can just click Start a New Presentation using blank or some of the templates that they already have created for you. Once you create your new presentation, you just click your name to name it. One thing that you can do that can help you save time is by clicking Untitled Presentation up in the top left corner after you name it, and it will automatically rename the presentation for you. Now over to the far right, you can use some of their default themes in there. Game Day is usually my go-to theme for what I use in my class. You can also import themes if you've made your own theme, or if you've been able to download a theme from somewhere else, you can import them. Just like Microsoft PowerPoint, you have the option to add a bunch of different varieties of slides depending on what you're planning on presenting to your audience. You can add speaker notes down here at the bottom so that maybe you could put in things that you want to make sure that you hit on as you're going through the presentation. As you're adding slides and creating slides through here, you can change the font size, color. You can highlight text. You can change the orientation of the text where it can be centered, to the left, to the right. You can add bullet points, numbers, transitions, backgrounds to slides. You can insert pictures very easily. You can search directly from the web in Google Slides, which is very nice. You can also add from a URL, from your Google Drive, from the camera on your device. You can insert additional text boxes if you need to. There's a lot of really useful things with Google Slides. You can get add-ons to it. Google has a ton of different add-ons that you can use to just kind of help personalize what you're doing. They have things like other applications that use Google Slides. So after you create your Google Slides, you can typically upload them to one of these other services. What I tend to do is I make my Google Slides and then I actually upload them to Nearpod, and I use Nearpod as my actual presentation tool. But the basis of my Nearpods are typically in Google Slides. The last thing that I do after I create my Google Slides is I click this little calendar icon, and that's how I organize where I'm going to save it. So if I was making this for 824, I'd come into my 824 folder and click the Move Here button. That way I would be able to easily go back and locate this Google Slides presentation afterwards. So my thoughts and insights, this is a very, very easy thing to create, especially if you have any kind of background knowledge in Microsoft PowerPoint. They're essentially the same thing. This is just Google's version of it. It is nice that this is web-based, so you don't have to worry about going back and saving your work. As you can see up here, as you start typing things, it says saving, and then when you stop, it'll pop up and say that all changes saved in Drive. So it goes back and saves your work for you. You can click on that like you can other Google Docs and go back to older versions if you want, if you don't like the edits that you've made. For if you're a teacher and you use Google Classroom, Google Slides is a very useful tool, as you can create direction slides or a blank template, and you can upload them to your Google Classroom for either students to follow along or students can create a presentation. If you're like me and you work in a school district where everybody has Google Slides, you can share them easily with the people that you work with, so that they can have their input into it. When you share it, you can make it so that they can either edit it, comment on it, or view only. So that comes in very handy with them. And the students can do the same thing. In my class, I'm actually getting ready to do a group project where the students do a Google Slides presentation. And in that, the directions, one person in the group has to hit share, enter their group members' email addresses, and then they'll all have access to one shared Google Slides. So there's a lot of possibilities to it. You couldn't do that in Microsoft PowerPoint because you can only use that on one device at one time with just one user. So those are some things that are not as great with PowerPoint, but they are absolutely fantastic with Google Slides. So that is my overview on Google Slides, why I like it, why I prefer it, and some of the functions that you can use with it.